What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today, Season 1 Reloaded is indeed going to be going ahead and dropping. Of course, if you guys want to see my live impressions of the season, I'll be streaming it when it's up and live. I think it's at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to go ahead and go up for everybody. So, of course, like I said, I'll be streaming it. And I will have more content about Season 1 Reloaded coming up on this channel within the upcoming days, covering a bunch of things, especially things I've been really hyper-focusing on. So I hope Sledgehammer listens. Of course, subscribe and hit that bell to be notified on all of that type of content. But I had to go ahead and put this specific video together because personally, I don't think it's going to be Sledgehammer who could potentially ruin Season 1 Reloaded. I think it is the community who will ruin Season 1 Reloaded. And let me go ahead and explain to you guys why. Again, there's a lot of things that could potentially go wrong, but there's also a lot of things that could potentially go right. But when it comes down to the Call of Duty community, I swear, we are one of the most toxic communities I've ever witnessed in my whole life. Let me go ahead and summarize what my videos typically look like in the comment section. Anytime I go ahead and praise someone, I'm called a shill. Apparently, I don't know what a good Call of Duty game is. My takes are horrible now. They can't understand why anybody would want to watch me. And then when I go ahead and talk bad about the game, about things that, are going really bad and Sledgehammer could improve upon, it's constant people saying I'm being too negative. Once again, I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't share the same opinion as them on a specific matter, and just so on and so forth. The Call of Duty community is one-sided on everything, and nobody is open-minded. And to me personally, that is extremely bad for the health of this game because we will never be able to push this game in a proper direction when all we either do is praise everything that goes on or talk crap about everything that, happens as well. I personally believe, and again, I hope this doesn't offend anybody, and honestly, the people who get offended are probably the ones who are guilty because, if you're not guilty, this wouldn't piss you off, but I really do believe that Call of Duty, at least the Call of Duty community, might be the most egotistical community I could possibly think of. Again, there are some other egotistical communities out there. But again, over half the people in the COD community believe that their opinions are the only valid opinions out there. You know what I say on this channel? I welcome all opinions, and I always try to look at both sides of the story. That's why you see positive titles, positive videos, and negative titles and negative videos. And people always say, I'm crazy for doing so. But again, you will never catch me being one-sided. If a development team does something that is good, but, I've had beef with them in the past, that I'm not going to hold my beef over them for eternity. I'm going to praise what they did good. Even in Infinity War titles, when they do something positive, I still point it out. There were things in Modern Warfare 2 2022 that I thought were good. And again, all this time later, now people are saying certain features are good. But in its prime, nobody would acknowledge it. Nobody would even, say it's decent, not even in the slightest. I don't know why. Is it because people are afraid of backlash? People are afraid that they'll get talked down upon for enjoying something that someone else might not like? At the end of the day, I really do believe that we are the most egotistical community, and that is no way of getting improvements for a game. These developers won't listen to us if this is how we're going to go ahead and handle things. I will say the Warzone community has been handling things pretty decently when it comes to their updates, and Raven has been pretty active with the community. But I personally think it's because, they have a set path of what the players want. They know exactly what they need, what they want out of a Warzone experience. Whereas in Call of Duty, they brought back a ton of really good features, things that we have been at. Again, the checklist was checked 50,000 times for Modern Warfare 3, right? Almost everything across the board gameplay-wise is perfected. Yet and still, people are still absolutely dunking on the game, saying it's the worst one out there. Again, there are legitimate things that could be said about this game. Skill-based matchmaking be ramped through the roof. The stupid Assassin's Vest being implemented. It kind of being considered a DLC game, especially with how Activision was running it behind the scenes, not even giving the developers a real idea of what the game was going to be. A lot of these reasons can be said, and they are all justifiable. All of them. But to say that the core game itself is absolutely garbage, one of the worst Call of Duty experiences ever, when it literally checks off everything the community's been begging for. Movement, faster paced gameplay, a longer time to kill so, people can't just camp and beam you in 2 seconds. All of the above, the list goes on. But the problem is, people won't look at both sides. They only see that the game is fantastic, it's the best one they've ever played, they fixed everything that they wanted, Or they only see, oh yeah, this is DLC. The game is garbage. I can't stand the fact of any of this stuff. Skill-based matchmaking's ran through the roof. Nobody will acknowledge both. And that is our biggest problem. That right there is our biggest obstacle. And it's not only going to just hold back Season 1 Reloaded, but this is something that holds back Call of Duty in general. It doesn't matter what season it is. It could be Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5. It could be the next COD game, the COD game after that. All of them are going to be affected by this exact thing of the Call of Duty community not being able to be open-minded. This update could be the best thing in the world, and I'll go ahead and talk about it. I'll say how many good things they have changed. I will say, how many positive things they have listened to the community about. And I guarantee there'll still be tons of people out there, hundreds, who will gladly say it's still garbage. We don't know what we're talking about. All those changes should have been there probably day one, so on and so forth. And same thing on the other side. The update could be horrendous. It could be the worst thing in the world. They could not fix anything. They could have ignored all of our feedback. And once again, I would go ahead and discuss that. I would speak my mind and say that they didn't do anything. They didn't listen to any of the feedback. We have problems. And then I would have hundreds of comments saying the complete opposite. You're just a hater. Oh, why do you play a game that, you hate so much? Why do you even bother playing it? Why do you even bother talking about it? This is what is killing us. I can't stand it. And this is not something that just started. Okay, this isn't something that the community just started, to become with Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2. No, this has been going on for years. Since Modern Warfare 2019, shoot, I would even say World War 2, Black Ops 4, even some of the jetpack CODs. You just cannot. Honestly, I would even argue some of the OG games too, like Call of Duty 4 up to BO2. If you share any other opinion, you will just be shamed in the Call of Duty community. I remember with Black Ops Cold War, honestly, in my opinion, before Modern Warfare 3 dropped here, I was saying that Black Ops Cold War felt the best out of the, the past 4, and now with Modern Warfare 3 past 5 CODs. I would say Modern Warfare 3 feels, it's hard because it feels really good and crispy, but I still would argue that Black Ops Cold War is superior to a lot of these modern COD games that have dropped here. And there was a lot of good things to discuss with that game. Of course, there were tons of negatives because it's still probably one of, the worst Treyarch games out there. I don't know, that and Black Ops 4, you guys decide, but, it's hard to compete with Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, World at War, all the goats that Treyarch produced there. It's hard to compete with it. So it's on the lower end scale of what Treyarch has produced. So there's definitely things to complain about. But at the end of the day, there was tons of positives. And all I remember is, every time I tried to address a positive, I would just get dunked on like no tomorrow. Like I said, this isn't anything new. This has been going on for ages. I just hope at some point in time, the community will stop this nonsense and, be able to respect things that are good and obviously recognize things that are bad. And I want people to understand that this video isn't just hyper-focusing on people who are always negative, because that's not the case. Like I said, this video is on everybody across the board. I want people to be open-minded. This goes for the people who are hyperly positive as well. There's no good that could be done to a game if everything you're just going to be a yes man towards. You have to go ahead and critique what's bad with the title, what's wrong, what they did incorrectly, so we can get actual good improvements. Like Battlefield 2042, for an example. Do you think that it would be anywhere in its current state if the community didn't complain about it? If the community didn't, absolutely destroy that game down to its core every single day that passed by? No, it would probably be just as bad. And of course, it's nowhere close to being, the best Battlefield game out there. But compared to what it was day one, yeah, out of all the community feedback that they listened to, they have changed the game to be something a lot better. And you have to understand, being positive won't always give you the best outcome. But ladies and gentlemen, to go ahead and summarize, the community is going to be the problem with this next update here, because no matter what way this update goes, the community won't care. They won't acknowledge anything that's good. And, if it's bad, you'll be called a hater and just get away from the game if you try to criticize the things that are bad. I don't know. But regardless, I'm excited to go ahead and give Season 1 Reload a try. Only because I'm really, really curious to see if Sledgehammer is going to keep up the communication with their community. The content alone is only 2 weapons and 1 map, so it'll keep me for a little bit of time. Probably not a lot. But again, We just got to see if the developers are dedicated to the multiplayer experience or if they're just going to go ahead and call it quits after, of course, the beta and holiday season. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. And last but not least, we do go ahead and stream pretty much daily over on Kick. So if you guys are interested in that, I have a link to that down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.